Hello friends, welcome to Insta YouTube Shorts.
You probably want to know yourself better. So the quest is only to go inward and to understand what is inside you and who are you. So I think yoga kind of helped me discover all that. So yeah, I think it's something that people should. It starts with physicality, but there is, as you go deeper into it, there is it also teaches you how to, like you said, you can dictate your daily emotion by just by merely having a control over your breath. Like, I remember there are times when I've been shooting in a very hot place, and whenever I am shooting in that kind of an environment, you've come and you've made me do, if I'm saying this correctly, is it Shitali Pranayam?
Yeah, it's the Shitali Pranayam.
Right? So that's something where you kind of are almost like breathing, you're cooling down the air and taking it inside your system, and you're actually cooling your internal body, which in turn also affects your the way you're feeling, calms the mind. And even though the external environment might be hot and difficult for the body to get used to, the internal system is cooling it down to keep everything in place.
Yes.
So things like these, which I think are very memorable in my experience. So there is this one person who's asked about pregnancy and yoga, which I would want to get back to.
It's a very important phase in a mother's life.
Yeah. So what about women who are pregnant in this pandemic and also want to start doing yoga? What should they be doing?
So they have to get hold of a good teacher. It's very, very important because you'd rather have a great teacher, not even a good teacher, a great teacher. Otherwise, I have no teacher at all.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's a lot of knowledge that floats around on the internet, and there are lots of half-baked potatoes and half-boiled eggs that walk around the place. So I think you have to be more wary these days about a yoga teacher. It's very important that you connect.
समझे कि एक योगा टीचर एक और योगा टीचर से बेटर है, ये कैसे ये समझ कैसे एक इंसान में आती है कि एक योगा टीचर दूसरे योगा टीचर से बेटर है.
So what is most important in yoga is to have experience.
Yeah.
Because yoga is really about your breath and how your breath changes every day. So if a teacher does not know her own breath, it's very difficult for her to understand the breath of her student. If a teacher has not understood herself, or if he has not understood himself, but just gaining the knowledge, getting the certificate, and just being up there, it's not enough. It's just like when you freshly studied from a great university, you have all the knowledge, but you do not have the experience. It's very important to be attached to an experienced teacher. So experienced teacher with appropriate amount of knowledge is important. Both go hand in hand. One without the other is incomplete. It's very important that you have an experienced teacher who has worked with students. It's very important, like just when you go out and you buy a product, you ask, you check the durability, you check the quality, you check the price. Do they all match? Only then you go and buy it, right? But you don't pick a teacher, this teacher is cheap, this teacher is available, you don't do that, right? Correct. If you go to buy something for your child, yes, you have a budget in mind, but you still want the best. And if you have to wait, you would wait.
Yeah.
Right? So that's important for you to get hold of a teacher that's equally experienced and knowledgeable.
Right.
So that is a criteria for someone who's pregnant, because you are in a very vulnerable stage. Yeah. And another thing is important is where you work with a teacher who's also been pregnant, who also has children. Because you have a lot of teachers who will say, yes, I teach yoga and I teach pregnant women. But if you have, like I said, if you have been through your own breath, you should have experienced a delivery yourself, gone through the ups and downs of a pregnancy yourself, to even comprehend what your student is saying.
Yeah.
Because it's just hear and say, okay, yes, you're in the 5th month. Clinically, on the 5th month, this should be happening, that should be happening. But by experience, it's just like when you go to a gynac, we prefer going to a gynac who is much older, who's done a lot of deliveries.
Correct.
Right? So same way, I think that's how you pick up a yoga teacher when you're pregnant.
So, Ruhi, there's another question which says, this is by Aniket Nayak, the Aniket Nayak, that's his account. How to solve lower back problems with yoga? I think that's another common question that has been asked a lot. Like lower back problems are common today.
Lower back problems, a lot of them also come from bad eating. It's a lot of gas.
Right.
It's a very different way of approaching it. But when we eat food that cause gas, there's a lot of gas that gets formed in the lower abdomen. But yes, you need to see a doctor. You need to get